The wives of Hollywood's top plastic surgeons.
Yeah, but even the shape of your face has changed.
No, it has not. I've had no plastic surgery on my face.
In the world of fame, people are constantly subjected to public scrutiny of what a celebrity should look like.
Social media post that has people asking, is that really Simon Cowell?
So, in an attempt to keep up with the evolving beauty standards and remain relevant and appealing in the public eye, many turn to cosmetic procedures.
Я когда-то была просто обыкновенная девушка. I want to look much more bright.
While some of these procedures are successful, others have resulted in devastating outcomes, ranging from limb amputations to near-death experiences. In this video, we bring you 20 celebrity plastic surgery disasters. Number 20, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, the legendary musician and entertainer, is often cited as a prominent example of how plastic surgery can drastically alter one's appearance. He was widely known as the most famous pop artist of his time, but soon public attention shifted from his musical talent to his physical appearance due to the drastic changes that happened. The first noticeable change was his nose, which appeared narrower, then his chin and jawline, which appeared perfectly chiseled. The noise of the previous accusations had not gone down when, to the surprise of many, the once black Michael turned light-skinned overnight. So, from the accusations, he became a subject of ridicule and mockery, which pushed him into extreme depression. Soon, he started to lose himself to drugs for rest until that fateful day when he had an overdose and passed on. Number 19, April Brown. Asides the insatiable desire to look perfect, another thing that pushes people to do cosmetic surgery is body shaming, and for every act of body shaming, people are being pushed to extreme lengths. What you're about to hear is a typical case of a victim, April Brown, who had her life altered forever. In a bid to enlarge her perceived flat bosom, she met an unlicensed practitioner in the vicinity of Western and Manchester who injected her with toxic substances unknown to her that her woes had just begun. After the procedure, April had severe complications that escalated to the extent that doctors were left with no choice but to amputate her hands, feet, and the flesh around her buttocks and hips. This drastic measure was taken to save her life from the life-threatening infections that had almost taken her life. Though she still faces excruciating physical and emotional challenges as a multiple amputee, she has found the determination to use her experience as a means of empowering others against the dangers of unlicensed cosmetic procedures. Number 18, Anastasia Poeschuk. They all lied to us. Beauty is no longer in the eyes of the beholder, but in the hands of those brave enough to redefine it for themselves. Does this sound strange? Wait until you meet Anastasia, a Ukrainian model who has taken the world of plastic surgery by storm with her audacious quest for the world's biggest cheeks. Talk about aiming for the stars, or in this case, the cheeks. Anastasia's journey through extensive cosmetic enhancements is nothing short of extraordinary. To achieve her record-breaking cheeks, she injects herself with cheek fillers and Botox injections. I mean, who needs a surgeon when you can be your sculptor? But just when we thought we've seen it all, in a jaw-dropping revelation, she confessed to doing this due to lack of confidence in her voice and appearance. But Anastasia's not stopping there. She's got big plans for her transformation, including a boob job to complete her journey to self-fulfillment. But quick question, does cosmetic surgery truly make people feel better about themselves? Well, we'll find out in the next slide. Number 17, Hang Mioku. Meet Hang Mioku, a once beautiful South Korean singer whose extreme addiction to plastic surgery pushed her into depression. Due to her unexplainable obsession for smooth facial skin, Hang went through several cosmetic procedures that continued until her face started to swell due to the excessive use of silicone. It was at this point that doctors refused to perform any more procedures for her. Unstoppable, she resorted to buying the materials and administering them herself. Soon enough, she went bankrupt and couldn't afford the materials again. Just when everyone thought she would be forced to take a break, she started injecting herself with cooking oil and other non-medical grade substances. Soon, her face became severely inflamed, infected, and irreversibly damaged. It was at this point that she sought help from the public. Luckily, she got free medical intervention. Grams of oil were removed from her face, and reconstructive procedures were performed to reshape her facial features. but all proved abortive as the damage had long been done. If you think this is the worst, wait for the next one. Number 16. Raji Singh. Raji Singh, a transgender woman in her quest for a more feminine appearance, sought the services of O'Neill Ron Morris, also known as the Duchess, another transgender woman renowned in the local Miami trans community for offering affordable alternatives to expensive professional plastic surgery. Little did she know that would be the beginning of her nightmares. At the time, she believed that Morris had some medical expertise and allowed him to use what she thought to be filler injections on her face, breasts, and hips. Unknown to her, Morris, who was a scam artist exploiting the desperation of transgender individuals, injected her with a horrifying mixture of cement, tire sealant, mineral oil, and glue instead of silicone. Sadly, for several months after the injections, Narin Singh, unaware of the dangerous substances in her body, went about her business until the reactions started. First, her face began to swell as if it were a boil, and then excruciating pain set in. In a horrifying moment, one of the swellings exploded, and green pus mixed with blood splattered onto the mirror. There, she knew everything was wrong. Out of embarrassment for the horrifying shape her face had now taken, she secluded herself. Until finally, a glimmer of hope came when Dr. John J. Martin, a plastic surgeon, agreed to treat her. This process took over 7 weeks and a series of surgeries where most of the concrete-like substances were removed from her face. But the sad news is, her face never regained its former shape. Number 15. Sue Briddick. Brace up for the unfortunate story of Sue Briddick, a 54-year-old woman who, in a quest for a cheaper tummy tuck, left her hometown, which offered the same procedure for £11,000, to Turkey, where she was offered $700 with a bonus of a free breast augmentation. As enticing as this was, even a layman could smell something suspicious about this offer, but our Sue was so hell-bent on getting cheap service that she didn't think twice about the repercussions it could have. After the procedure, instead of the intended procedure, she discovered that her surgeon had given her breast implants instead of a lift. Then, in a horrifying turn of events, the tissues in a portion of her tummy got infected and started deteriorating so severely that a portion of her skin had to be cut off and used to graft the infected site, a procedure that took a grueling year to heal. While she was still grappling with this, her breasts got infected and started to deteriorate, and so it was from one excruciating pain to another. Ultimately, she spent way more than the initial £11,000 she was supposed to pay in England. Number 14. Pixie Fox. Is life in plastic really fantastic? This is the tale of Pixie Fox, who has undergone over 200 plastic surgeries to resemble a living, breathing cartoon character. The types of surgical procedures she opted for are a testament to her inclination for taking risks, even at the expense of her life. One such example is when she underwent a procedure that could have resulted in the paralysis of her face, involving the insertion of a plastic tube in her nose and the fixation of plastic braces to prevent her airways and mouth from closing. Even after the surgery to prevent complications, her airways had to be vacuumed every 20 minutes for the first 24 hours to remove blood, fluids, and saliva. However, to the utter shock of many, against the surgeon's advice, our human doll went on to remove an astonishing 6 ribs from her body. To crown it all, barely 24 hours after the rib removal, she went to the gym wearing a tightly fitted corset. But to be honest, do you think all of these is worth the pain? Number 13. Mickey Rourke. For some, going under the surgeon's knife is a choice but a necessity which their lives depended on. One such victim is Mickey Rourke, a former Hollywood sweetheart who had a series of reconstructions due to the injuries he suffered during his boxing career. To fix the damage, he confessed to doing a whopping 8 surgeries on his face that would make one wonder if he were on a journey of ultimate facial transformation. Facelifts, brow lifts, nose jobs, cheek implants, you name it. And just when you thought the ride couldn't get any wilder, Rourke decided, why limit the fun to the face when you can sculpt the whole package? So, he went ahead and added liposuction and tummy tucks to it. But his endeavors took an unexpected turn as excessive use of Botox had left his face devoid of expression, frozen in time like a statue. I bet he had to double-check when he saw his reflection. Surprisingly, he openly admitted his regrets for entrusting his face to the wrong hands, especially a nose job that left him with breathing difficulties he wished he could reverse. However, despite these setbacks, in some strange way, he firmly believes that his foray into plastic surgery has contributed to his success in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Number 12. Simon Cowell. Next is Simon Cowell, the man who needs no introduction because who doesn't know the host of the world's 3 most famous talent hunt shows in the world? Fans of Simon since he came into the spotlight will agree that the face of Simon they knew at the start is different from the one they saw 5 years later and not the same one they saw recently. And no, these changes were not caused by aging, but by Simon's deliberate effort to put a pause on aging drastically with the help of face fillers. In a recent interview with The Sun, Simon, now 62, admitted that he had gone so far with the procedure that he didn't even recognize a picture of him before. But when he knew enough was enough and would remove every filler in his face, his 8-year-old son Eric burst out in uncontrollable laughter upon seeing his father's different looks. So instead, he decided to maintain his best look through a healthier lifestyle of eating well and staying dehydrated. All of these plastic surgery junkies need an Eric in their lives who'll laugh them back to reality. Number 11. Nanette Hammond. If we're to count the number of people who have transformed into human Barbie dolls, frankly, you'll lose count. But there's a disturbing question. Could it be said that the alarming plastic surgery pandemic is a result of the unrealistic body proportions created by these cartoonists? While we're waiting for an answer in the comments section, let's move to people who have taken it upon themselves to replicate the Barbie look, talking about the incredible Nanette Hammond, a former reality TV personality who has gone above and beyond, spending over $1 million on a series of plastic surgeries that would make even Barbie herself do a double take. According to her, as a teen, she felt ugly, self-conscious, and saw Barbie as the standard for beauty, and so as soon as she came of age, she decided to take matters into her hands and turn herself into the real-life Barbie she always admired. But this journey hasn't been all smooth sailing for Nanette. She's faced her fair share of complications along the way, from a nose job that left her struggling to breathe correctly to a lip implant that didn't quite go as planned and had to be removed. But you know what? Nanette isn't one to back down easily. She's determined to achieve her dream look and will invest much time and money to make it happen. Number 10. Joselyn Wildenstein. If you're familiar with America's showbiz space, the face of Joselyn Wildenstein will ring a bell. Known as the Catwoman due to her striking resemblance to cats, Joselyn has for decades captured the public's attention for 2 compelling reasons: her lavish divorce settlement exceeding a staggering $2 billion and her remarkable collection of cosmetic surgeries. Reports show that Joselyn's journey into the plastic world started with a lavish surgery for a cat-like eye, which she did with her then-husband, who had quite a soft spot for her wild aspirations. But she didn't stop there. To add to that, she did facelifts, brow lifts, lip-plumping injections, chin augmentation, and eyelid surgery, among other transformations. However, in a shocking revelation that left netizens bewildered, she denied undergoing any cosmetic enhancements, despite the very visible traces of the surgeries she has done. As backup, she went as far as digging up a vintage photo of herself at the tender age of 15, insisting that her distinctive appearance was simply a result of her Swiss heritage. We all know this claim is obviously a lie. Number 9. Barry Fairbairn. Barry Fairbairn, a solicitor from Leicester, decided it was time to exchange his laughter lines for a smoother and more youthful appearance, so he decided to opt for cheek fillers. Little did he know that his quest for no wrinkles would take an unexpected turn, leaving him with a devastating outcome. The first injection was successful, but the second was excruciating. Though unexpected, he thought the pain wouldn't subside, but with each passing day, it intensified, and the nose started to rot, and then he knew there was something wrong. Immediately, he sought medical intervention, but skin grafting was too late as his artery was already infected, and unfortunately, the rotting nose fell off. It must have been a horrifying experience for him, but unlike others, he said he won't be going for a correction and has decided to live with it. Number 8. Justin Jedlicka. Of all the human Ken dolls, this is the only one that seemed to have hacked it because if not carefully examined, he can almost be mistaken for a mannequin. Meet Justin Jedlicka, who gained recognition as the human Ken doll due to his jaw-dropping transformation achieved through the wonders of plastic surgery. His fascination with plastic surgery started during his teenage years, but seeing that his family would disapprove of it, he waited until 4 days after turning 18 for his first cosmetic enhancements, rhinoplasty. From that point on, he has had to explore the possibilities of cosmetic enhancements until 1,000 plastic surgeries. We're talking of full-body enhancements like chest implants, shoulder implants, bicep implants, triceps implants, brow shaving and lifts, cheek augmentations, subpectoral implants, and gluteoplasty, not to mention a whopping 5 nose jobs. And that's not all. He has also treated himself to a brow lift, augmentations to his cheeks and lips, and various body contouring procedures. But you know what's more fascinating about him? The fact that he proudly identifies as purely plastic and further stressed that to him, plastic surgery is an avenue to sculpt his body into a living work of art. Number 7. Katie Price. Meet Katie Price, a well-known British television personality synonymous with plastic surgeries and cosmetic procedures. Throughout her career, Price has been incredibly open about her desire to transform her appearance and has spared no expense in pursuing her vision of beauty. From facelifts and Botox injections to lip and cheek fillers, tattooed eyebrows, a nose job, and a remarkable 12 boob jobs, Price's cosmetic adventures have been nothing short of extraordinary, as she believes no procedure is too extreme for her. However, with a long list of surgeries under her belt, not everything went according to plan for the star. Price has faced her fair share of botched procedures, resulting in alarming and unfortunate consequences. From botched breast enlargement that left her with deformed-looking breasts, which she fortunately was able to rectify, her facelift wounds which became infected and started oozing, issues with teeth, and even instances of rotten skin. Now, you might assume that after encountering such challenges, Price would reconsider her approach and perhaps take a step back, but Price won't give up until she gets her perfect body, which seems a bit impossible. Number 6. Heidi Montag. It is true that beauty is pain, but not when it is at the expense of your life. The aim is to stay alive to witness the beauty you paid the price of pain to get. But some people have gone extreme, leaving us wondering the motivation behind that. Let's shift our attention to Heidi Montag, an American television personality, singer, and fashion designer who decided to undergo 10 different cosmetic surgeries in a single day. We're talking major procedures like brow lift, ear pinning, chin reduction, rhinoplasty, breast augmentation revision, liposuction on various areas of her body, buttock augmentation, and injections in her cheeks and lips all in one day. Whoever gave her such advice definitely needs an evaluation, because just like a snap of the finger, hell was let loose. And while she was battling for her life, just a few days after her surgery, her surgeon died, and she was transferred to a recovery center. Then came the actual battle. The situation escalated to the point that she reportedly died for a minute, was revived, but this time with severe speaking difficulty that had her relearning how to articulate her words. For a recovery that was estimated to last just a few months, she suffered for over a year. Number 5. Linda Evangelista. With the rate at which cosmetic enhancements have deformed a lot of people, it's a surprise how some people still opt for it. I mean, take a look at Linda Evangelista, a renowned supermodel who had her career destroyed because of a cosmetic malfunction. Following a fat-freezing treatment called cool sculpting in 2016, she noticed that her chin, thighs, and bra area, the exact areas where the procedure was carried out, were rapidly growing, which is the exact opposite of the effect of the procedure. Sad about the outcome, she attempted to rectify it with 2 corrective surgeries, but the situation remained the same. This was the straw that broke the camel's back, as due to shame, for 5 whole years, she stopped working, became a recluse, and was trapped in a cycle of deep depression, profound sadness, and overwhelming self-loathing. Number 4. Priscilla Presley. Let's dive into the intriguing tale of Priscilla Presley, a businesswoman and actress and ex-wife to the legendary Elvis Presley. Priscilla's fascination with plastic surgery began after she faced a battle with skin cancer. Following a surgery to remove cancerous tissue from her nose, she became fixated on the scars left behind. This obsession led her down a path of numerous cosmetic procedures, some of which turned out well and some which didn't. Her most unpleasant experience was in 2008, when met a dubious unlicensed practitioner in the US who injected her with industrial low-grade silicone, the type used for lubricating car parts. Well, thankfully she was able to correct the damage he had done, but that still didn't stop her from performing other cosmetic enhancements. Number 3. Jessica Alves. This should be tagged one of the most rigorous and perhaps dangerous cases of cosmetic surgeries. Meet Jessica Alves, formerly Rodrigo Alves, who has undergone an astounding 90 surgeries over 2 decades. In his quest to look like a Ken doll, he underwent a series of surgeries, facial fillers, contouring, and even the addition of a fake six-pack and muscular arms. But he still wasn't satisfied. Internally, Jessica felt a deep connection to Barbie rather than Ken, so again she went on another procedure, penile peritoneal vaginoplasty, a gender confirmation surgery that involved using abdominal and peritoneal tissue to create a vagina. Then his artificial six-pack was used to give him a bum lift, but just as the saying goes, once you start, you can't stop. So Jessica recently revealed plans for further body repairs, indicating that the quest for self-improvement is an ongoing pursuit. Number 2. Valeria Lukanga. Now let's talk about another social media influencer, Valeria Lukanga, who proudly presents herself as the human Barbie, owing to her uncanny resemblance to the iconic doll. If we're to be honest, she is the only one who perfectly fits that description. The intriguing part is that she adamantly denies having undergone other procedures despite the noticeable transformations in her body shape and features. According to her, her doll-like appearance is achieved through a 1.5-hour-long makeup routine, contact lenses to enhance her eye color, and a combination of diet and exercise. But the cat was let out of the bag when Dr. Sam Risk, a plastic surgeon, said she may have undergone additional surgeries, such as rhinoplasty and body contouring to decrease her waist size. Number 1. Zombie Angelina Jolie. Last on our list is Sahar Tabar, a 17-year-old Iranian girl who posted a picture of a woman with unnaturally thin lips, hollow cheeks, and a dramatically altered nose, claiming it was a picture of her having undergone a series of surgeries to look like Hollywood actress Angelina Jolie. Initially, she enjoyed the attention surrounding her newfound Angelina Jolie image until her world was turned upside down when the Iranian government charged her with blasphemy, incitement of violence, and the promotion of corruption among young people, resulting in a 10-year prison sentence. Faced with the severity of the consequences, to the astonishment of many, she quickly backtracked on her previous claims, confessing that the resemblance to Angelina Jolie had been an illusion created by makeup and digital manipulation. To support her confession, she revealed herself, and to the surprise of many, she looked nothing like the pictures she had circulated. Isn't it amazing the length people can go for fame? Which of these cases do you think could have been avoided? Which of them made you cringe in disgust? Let's know your thoughts in the comments section.